All right, sweet. Thank you, Eric, um, for just putting all that out there. We have to kind of do that because some of you love to pretend like you ain't never heard of anything happening. Like you don't get the emails, you don't get like the social media stuff, and don't get me wrong, I love that excuse as well. I live off of that excuse. Well, no one ain't told me nothing. I ain't heard nothing. What is happening this weekend? No one told me. There are certain spiritual communities I'm a part of. People know they just have to text me. They're like, "Are you coming?" Are you going to be at this event? They know that like I don't do emails or anything. So, but you're not getting a text. So this is why we put all of this out here at the beginning of every program to make sure you stay informed. But yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you to Eric for holding the space. Karen is behind the scenes as well. It's so good to see so many of you here. Welcome to those of you who are new. So as we begin, let's just begin by touching the land. Let's touch the earth. And we touch the earth by bringing attention, awareness to the lands that we're living on, practicing on, opening up space for the land, the earth, to express herself or itself, depending on how you feel comfortable relating to the land as the mother, the land as awakened consciousness. Um, but just bringing attention, touching the land, our attention, our awareness touches into the consciousness of the land. That touching is a really intimate experience. And as you touch the land through your attention, feeling the elemental energy of the land, of the earth rising to meet you, to hold you. And as often as I say often and give this instruction often, to deepen this kind of connectivity to the land, I really encourage you to offer to the land. Just a very simple ritual, just offering food to the land. It's both for the land, an expression of generosity, but also an expression of generosity for our animal relations, right? By offering just a little bit of food to the land, touching the land physically, thanking the land for all that the land, the earth is holding. And over time, you develop a deeper felt sense of this connection to the land. Right now, for many of you, this feels very abstract, right? But the more you do this, the more you begin to develop a sense of how to feel, right? How to note or to become aware of how the land, how the earth is expressing itself or herself. And this is where the medicine is rooted in the land. If there's no connection to the land, there's no real healing. If there's no real healing, there's no real liberation. You can't bypass the land, nor can you bypass your bodies to get free. So feeling the earth rise to hold you, feeling the land, the earth, and the seats that you're sitting on or the floor that you're resting on or whatever is holding you. That's the expression of the earth right now. Stability, foundation, rootedness, tethering, to be tethered. And allowing yourself to relax. right? And I know that, like, some of us, when we're told to relax, we don't have a great reaction to it, but it's time to reclaim that because there's no liberation without actually letting go, surrendering. And when I say relax, I'm really saying surrender. Because, baby, you can't always be on top, honey. Some of you top identified folks, I'm the dominant. You know who I'm talking to. Don't act confused. So surrendering, this is when I relax, I'm surrendering to the care, right? Of of everything, really, the ancestors, the earth, the Buddhas, the bodhisattvas, the elemental spirits, the angels, whatever your cosmology is, that's who you're surrendering to. And this is why I wanted to play some of the music that I selected tonight, particularly which is originally done by Stevie Wonder, but this version is George Michael, um, and and what's her name? Um, of course, I just go completely blank. George Michael and
Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. That's right. I was about to say Alicia Keys, but
I want to hear that too, though.
I don't think Alicia Keys has those pipes. Anyhow, so getting back, focusing. Yeah, we'll have to edit that out in case she comes across that online. That's why I wanted to play as because, like, when I talk about tethering and surrendering, like, it's surrendering to how we're being loved, you know? I will always love you, like that line, that lyric in the song. I've been loving you, forever, right? No matter what happens, I continue to love you. That's the expression of like Buddha love, the expression of ancestral love. That's definitely the expression of the love that we receive from the elements, from the land, from the sacred waters, right? As well. I've been loving you, right? And when we lean back, right, and surrender to how we're being held by all these beings, I think one of the things that you begin to hear over time is this expression of how you have always been loved. Right? And this is a kind of tethering that I'm really wanting to focusing. I want to focus on this year as well. Like the tethering, this constant stream of love that's always radiating around us from all of these benefactors. And how can we stay connected to that as much as possible, consciously connected, to know that you're being loved, right? No matter what happens, you're being loved, right? And that love is surrounding you, is guiding you, right? His mother, Cissy Houston, of course, was Whitney Houston's mother, was singing in the Lord's Prayer, right? And then, of course, the Lord's Prayer, where the verse says, He prepareth the table before me in the presence of my enemies, right? And of course, I translate that as like, because I am wrapped in this love, this deep appreciation from all of these guiding beings around me, I can move into situations of danger, right? I can move through the world feeling protected, right? Rooted, tethered, right? I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me, right? And again, for me, that's just like I'm gonna hold my beloveds, my benefactors close to me. And so when I have to be on these streets, like I know that I have the protection of these beings with me. So it's not so much about boundaries, but it's about protection. Right? When I have to go somewhere, I wrap myself in the love of my benefactors. Right? I move through the world protected. And there's no complicated, intense ritual to make this happen. This is just an ask. You ask, may I be protected? And when you ask to be protected, afterwards you surrender to that protection because there has to be, you have to meet your benefit. You have to meet your benefactors halfway here. Right? As you ask them to come forth to protect you, you have to lean back and allow yourself to be caught. Right? To be caught. So we're warming up here. We're warming up. We're doing something different. We're going to warm up. I'm going to talk and practice at the same time. So go ahead and gather your benefactors behind you. Right? Gather your benefactors. Call your benefactors into the space. That means moving through the seven homecomings practice, but gathering them behind you, not so much in a circle, but behind you. So you want to feel this energetic presence of all these beings who love you, right? And if you're new to this practice, all we're doing is welcoming, calling to our space all the beings in the universe who love us. Be they living beings, spirit beings, deities, anyone, anything. For me, I don't go through like a list. I don't go through categories anymore like we would do in the seven homecomings. I just say, all right, everyone, I need you, you know. And again, it is because I have developed a deep confidence and a faith in the presence of these beings. The faith is what ignites, it sparks, right? This practice, this experience. I ask you to be present. And not only that, I know that you will be present, right? As I ask, I know, right? As I ask, I know. There's no doubt in this equation for me anymore, and there's still doubt for most of you. And that's okay, because this is a process. Just say, welcome, I need you, and then let it go, and then surrender, right? So as your beings, as your benefactors arrive and show up energetically or even physically, right? Just beginning to lean back. And I say energetically because it's more of an energetic kind of mental posture, more so than a physical, but it can also be a physical posture as well, you know. But first, just in my mind, it's like feeling my benefactors getting my back. Like they're in back of me. I feel that. And so energetically, I just feel my energy body leaning back, reclining back. And of course, the physical body can lean with that as well, right? To be held. Right? So finding your seat, right? Again, reconnecting to the seat, the weight of your body, the seat rising to hold you. Feeling the base of your body as like a base of the mountain. Like this is your body as the mountain, your body as the embodiment, as the expression of stability, of groundedness, right? Touching the land, the earth again, right? To bring in this energy of stability and groundedness. Again, the tethering. We're tethering to the land, we're tethering to the seas, we're tethering to our benefactors holding us. And this is such powerful medicine already because this is a moment of a lot of spiraling and a lot of disembodiments, right? So when we're practicing this kind of tethering, we're coming back to be held. And when we come back and feel this holding, we are naturally providing tethering for others or for our beloveds around us who also need this tethering. So when we're rooted, we are naturally helping to root so many people around us. And I think this is one of the most important medicines that we can be sharing for people to become the earth, to become the mountain for so many people who feel as though they're just kind of spiraling. And it's so easy for us right now to want to be somewhere else, particularly out of our bodies. you know, like it's so I get it, the density right now is a little, it's a lot, you know. And it's important to say that there's nowhere else to be except for here, right? There's no somewhere over the rainbow. Like this is over the rainbow. This is we're right here. Like this, it's only here in the body, seated, grounded, can we actually begin to experience real liberation. And that real liberation, yeah, it's very rainbow-like, right? But you can't bypass the work of the material, the work of the physical, right? The work of density. You can't bypass this thinking that like you can just skip along and get over the rainbow. This is the path, right? This is the path. And this kind of like line that goes through our bodies down into the earth. And that's the tethering that I feel. It's like I am being drawn to the earth, right? And I feel the earth lifting to hold me and to ground me. And as that's happening, I am consciously surrendering to being held. And then maybe like a breath practice or kind of a somatic practice that could be helpful, and it's been helpful for me, using the breath. It's just that I just inhale really deeply. And as I inhale, I am inhaling through every opening, every pore in my body. And I used to have a teacher who would go through all the pores and openings of the bodies, and I was like, after a while, I get it. So the breath, the inhale is imagining inhaling through the skin, right? Essentially inhaling through every pore, every opening in the skin, feeling the activation of our skin all over. And then as you inhale, right? Feeling that inhale, and then as we exhale, imagining that you're exhaling down through the body into the earth, right? And that feels like it's creating a stronger connection, a stronger seal, like I think with the earth. And then another thing you can add to it, is as you're inhaling through all the openings of the body, as you inhale, just like feeling like the lift, the rise of the body, some of the tension, surfacing some of the tension as you're inhaling. And then as you exhale down to the body into the earth, just relaxing, surrendering. It's almost as if you're deflating and coming back to being held by the seat. And of course, I know some of you are going to be sleeping 5 minutes, but it's okay. I mean, you need to shaking it off, right? Just shake it off and come back into the practice when you need to. As we were talking about maybe 2 weeks ago, you know, shaking loose these shackles, like you just kind of have to shake the density and this energy off sometimes, right? And sometimes we have to take this work to the waters, right? And we pray to the waters to like cleanse, to move energy. This is the season of water. So it's like as much time as we can spend with the waters, I really encourage you to do so. Right? If there's somewhere you can sit by a little piece of water, it doesn't have to be huge, but something. There's always healing medicine, healing spirits in any body of water, be it great or small. And so as you're surrendering, as you're letting go, of course, there are some other energies that will begin to surface. Our fear, our grief, our anger, the brokenheartedness. So letting that surface into consciousness, into awareness. And as you're breathing, again, inhaling into the body and also inhaling into these energies that are surfacing, allowing these energies to be filled with this in breath. As we exhale, again, sending this energy down through the body into the earth to be held and neutralized by the earth, by the land. And again, the more we get into the habit of offering to the earth, the more potent these kinds of practices become. And as you're exhaling, moving energies down through the body into the earth, I also invite you just to begin to notice the space that's holding everything, allowing the mind, and then more particularly our awareness, to really expand, to open. Right? I often use the imagery of a blossoming flower, just how a flower just blossoms. So in my practice, I feel as if my awareness is just opening, just blossoming. And it's like my awareness is kind of spilling all over, boundless, fluid. And I'm just noticing, and that awareness just noticing, noting everything that's being held in the field of my awareness. And I don't have to react. If I can keep moving energy with the breath, and this is a really potent space to do grief work. And again, allowing the grief to surface, feeling it, getting curious about the expression of grief, reminding ourselves that we're not the only one grieving. So letting grief have its space. And if you're not connecting to the grief, use the anger or use the numbness or the apathy. Let's just let this experience have its space as you're being held by the earth, as you're being held by your benefactors. And so when you're ready, we'll turn our attention to our first mantra. This is the mantra of evoking Medicine Buddha, calling Medicine Buddha into the space. Om Minla Sange Kino. Soha, Medicine Buddha, please think of us. Please be present with us always. Of course, we'll start with chanting Om, then we'll chant the mantra 3 times, and of course, we'll end with the Om. Right? So beginning by inhaling. Om. No. So. Om. No. So. And when we chant that mantra, one of its purposes is to ignite, catalyze all these aspects of our practice as if we come in and we turn the light on, we get the electricity flowing through our whole practice, through our bodies, into the earth, into our benefactors, into our breath, even into these difficult energies that some of us are working with. The consciousness of Medicine Buddha as an awakened, evolved, liberated being, their consciousness energizes, it turns on our practice. So in a way, maybe it moves from something that feels ordinary to something that feels extraordinary and sacred. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to return back to a natural breath. But if this breath practice is generative and really working for you, continue it. As always, make your own choices in practice. Whatever feels like it's really meeting you, just keep doing it, right? Wherever that sweet spot is, just keep at it, right? But as we continue, as we turn a little bit of attention slowly towards our main mantra, I just continue to invite you to feel as if you're being held, being caught, supported by all of your benefactors. And that they begin to radiate the energy of deep care, of love. And feeling that energy entering into our backs, saturating our our central channel, which of course runs with the spine, right? So feeling that energy, that deep care of our benefactors infusing itself into our spine, our central channels, which perhaps can help to stabilize, ground, maybe our nervous system. But again, just different forms of being tethered, being held. And so in this first stage, we'll move into chanting our main mantra, Medicine Buddha's main mantra, Tea Ta Om Bekenze Maha Bekenze Rasu Sumongate Soha, which you'll find in the chat box. You can chant along or just listen. But no matter what you do, relax, allow yourself to be held. Be submissive, not in that weird church biblical way, but in terms of allowing yourself to be held, to be cared for, to surrender. And the more you do this, the more you begin to be attuned to these real tetherings that are present for us, that are only meant to support us, to hold us, right? You can't get there until you surrender deeper and deeper into these experiences. And that tethering is also the experience of stillness. The stillness that lies at the heart of all experience, all phenomena. The stillness which is the felt experience of emptiness. A sense of fluidity and spaciousness is also can be a felt experience of emptiness. Like to feel that. And hearing from that stillness these lyrics again, I am always loving you. I have been loving you. Seeing if you can attune to that message. I have always been loving you. No matter what, I am always loving you. We'll begin. O teyandaum begenze ma begenze razumunga tesoa. Teyandaum begenze ma begenze razumunga tesoa. Teyandaum begenze ma begenze razuzungarezoa. 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 대한다 옴백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스스문간제소와 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 대한다 옴백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스스문간제소와. So I'm just turning my attention to the prayer requests. And again, we call into the space once again all of our benefactors, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yidam, Dharma protectors, all beings and deities of light, all the angels, all of the great protecting and guiding spirits of the elements, including the land and the waters that we are practicing with and around. I call all of you into the space to help hold these prayer requests to support us, to work on our behalf to bring about the fruition of these prayers, right? And to support us as we do what we can at the same time to bring about the fruition of these prayers as well. We begin by making prayers to move from scarcity to abundance and to find my soulmate. Prayers for those feeling targeted, terrorized, and unsaved, that they are helped and consoled. Prayers that I am and that I become always the best mom for my daughter. Prayers for R and I to be all that the mother has planned for us. Offering prayers that all beings are free and loved. Prayers that I secure a good job that is good for me and gives financial stability for my daughter and I. Offering prayers that Roxy has a fulfilling 17th birthday week filled with care and love, offering prayers for abundance so we may spread it around, offering prayers of gratitude for all that we have seen and unseen, offering prayers for all to make time to care for the low level fear that builds in the background so they don't crash. We all have people counting on us, offering prayers that the class I'm taking this week will be healing and awakening for me and all beings. Offering prayers for all experiencing a heavy heart. May we practice the patience to allow our hearts to break open, cry together in community, and walk each other home. Offering prayers for all those in abusive relationships. May they find the strength, courage, and support they need to leave. And may they be provided for in all ways and find peace and safety. Prayers for my daughter's well-being and prayer for healing our relationship. Offering prayers for the health of my sisters Abby and Jenna as they receive treatment and heal. Prayers for Leah and me as we seek new jobs to feed our souls and bank accounts. Offering prayers for all those suffering from a resurgence in the carceral state. May we aspire towards and find peace again and again. Offering prayers for myself as I navigate grief and exhaustion. May I go to bed earlier and get enough sleep. Prayers for all transgender, diverse, queer, racialized, and other equity denied folks in the U.S. and the world. Offering prayers for the people of Palestine, Congo, Sudan, Lebanon, Syria, and Ukraine. Offering prayers for protection for immigrants and refugees. Offering prayers for the Spirit to move through each of us so that we may sow the seeds of liberation for all others. Offering prayers for my sweet adolescent niece to feel good about herself despite outer circumstances. Offering prayers of gratitude to people all over the globe who have been and continue to rise in solidarity with those marginalized and terrorized by oppressive regimes. Offering prayers of liberation of perception from the entanglements of the carceral state. Offering prayers for the children around the world everywhere. Prayers for us all. Offering prayers for all those incarcerated, children and adults alike. Offering prayers for all beings in all realms and timelines to attain collective ascension above and beyond samsara towards ultimate liberation. Prayers for infinite gratitude, blessings, and merit to be showered upon Lama Rod and the team that supports him. Prayers for a thriving Dharma lay community returning and rooting into the old ways. Prayers for my wintering body to rest as much as needed without apologies so that I may recover, trusting that the ability to do the work of causing good trouble will return. Offering prayers that I'll find my power and that we all will. Prayers that I stay calm and sharp and that we all do. Prayers for SGT, for softness, dispelling delusion, opening to reality, receiving care and help. Prayers for J, prayers for S, prayers for Mary O'Brien, prayers for God, for Jeffrey, prayers for M, that he may encourage, that he may engage with the question of who am I, and all that's involved in awakening to a higher sense of self and other. Offering prayers for deep protection for my family and all my beloveds. May all be safe and at ease. Prayers for my job interview tomorrow. May it be the resourcing and support I need for this time. Offering prayers of healing for Suzanne, Carlos living with cancer, as well as Kathy, Kayla, Jeff, Baron, Marcello, Jack, Pahikalawa, and Terafei, and all the young people. Prayers for Kit, prayers for Jean. May hate dissolve, may love prevail. Prayers for me to have a long, deep remission from cancer. Prayers for M and R. May they experience healing and freedom. Offering prayers that I have courage to surrender to the care of the ancestors, the Buddhas, angels, and the earth. May all the sphere of my body continue to move and serve collective liberation. Prayers for healing from my most recent injury, which is activating my nervous system. May it heal soon. May I be able to move with a bit less pain. May my nervous system settle. Prayers for L. May they heal from their chronic conditions. May they get the help they need in every way. Prayers for M, that they be able to receive the medical treatment they need. May the obstacles to this be removed. Offering prayers for me and my insomnia. Prayers that my body learns to let go, settle, rest deeply. Offering prayers for me as I'm navigating health issues. Prayers for Tiffany and her health and emotional well-being. Prayers for all my clients as they're feeling scared and overwhelmed. Offering prayers for me and my beloved. May we find ease and liberation. May our hearts be open, and may we always feel how deeply loved we are. We're offering prayers for my sister and her children. Offering prayers that I can surrender, that I can sleep through the night. Prayers for help with the debilitating anxiety arising from being unable to sleep. Offering prayers for all those in our country and the world experiencing deep fear. May all I and beings everywhere have some capacity to feel loved and cared for in these difficult times. And offering prayers for my brother's surgery this week and for my son's recovery from illness. May they experience the healing that they need. Offering prayers for me as I undergo this rebirth and separation from my partner. May I surrender and move with courage, gentleness, and self-love. Offering prayers for my loved ones in the Los Angeles area. May they have comfort and strength. May the long road ahead and may balance and be restored to this earth as quickly as possible. Offering prayers for all prisoners and people suffering because of the injustice of the justice system. May we move closer every day to a world where those laws are made completely obsolete. And we continue to pray for the balancing of all the elements around the world and throughout the universe. We continue to pray for the complete abolition of all systems of violence and harm and manipulation. We continue to pray for the movement, for the fluidness of fear. May fear move. May it find its space to be held. May we remember who and what we are. May we cling and be tethered to the earth, to our ancestors, to all the benefactors who love us. May we work together to bring about collective liberation. May we get free as quickly as possible. May these prayers and all prayers, and including all the prayers that still remain unspoken, may all of these prayers be offered and lifted to our benefactors, to all the great ones who have assembled to hear this. May the fruition of these prayers come about as quickly as possible right now. May it be so. Having offered these prayers to our benefactors, we imagine that they begin to get to work, bringing these prayers to fruition. And so we come back to our practice, coming back to the sacred mantra. And again, allowing ourselves to be held, right? Allowing the fear to move, to have its movement, its flow through us into the earth. Whenever we feel the fear, connect instantly to the love, to the tethering of all of our benefactors who have gathered to support us. Returning back to the mantra just for a couple of minutes. Deyata begenze ma begenze rasa sumungate soa. Deyanda 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 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문같이 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문같이 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문같이 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문같이 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문같이 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문같이 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문같이 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문같이 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문같이 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 소아 대한다 원백은세 백은세 마백은세 라스 수문가리 소아. So again, just sitting, feeling the seat, the earth, rising, feeling the support of your benefactors tethering you. And just taking another deep inhale. And as you exhale, releasing whatever is left down through the body into the earth. And after we release that, thanking the earth again for this support. Turning our attention to our benefactors behind us, we thank them as well for their love, their kindness, their generosity. And we imagine that they begin to dissolve into white light. And imagining that that white light begins to encircle us as if it's encircling us in a sphere, a ball, or a shield of white light, which is nothing but the expression of the deepest care for us. And within this space, and you don't have to pull this up, but returning back to our prayer from last week, Soga Rinpoche's heart advice. Just reading this, I'll just read this as we're beginning to close out our session. Again, this is Soga Rinpoche's heart advice. Be not distracted. Be not distracted. Plant the watchman of mindfulness. On the path of distraction, the thief of Mara lies in wait. Because the mind of attachment and aversion is Mara, regarded as illusion, free from all duality. Once your own mind is known to be primordial purity, free from contrivance, there is no other Buddha. Look at your own face. There is nothing else to realize. So rest at ease. This is spontaneous non-meditation. Take the Buddha seat. And then I'm going to go through this one more time, just in my own words, so that those of us who may not weren't present last week may have some deeper meaning of this prayer. So again, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted by all this silliness, all this chaos, all this drama. Get clear. Plant this practice of mindfulness really clearly. Get intentional about staying aware. Because distraction, and along with distraction, doubt and fear and craving and aversion, all of that comes with the distraction. So don't give in to it. Right? Regard everything, see everything as this arising of space and emptiness and energy. Your mind is already liberated, free from dualities, free from performing, free from delusion. It is clear, it is spacious, it is boundless. This is who you are. So when you gaze at your own face, know that you're gazing at a Buddha. Maybe a Buddha who's forgotten that they're a Buddha, but all the less still a Buddha. You are loved. This is the only teaching, that you are awakened and you are loved. Can you begin to trust those truths? Can you begin to rest within the nature of those truths? To begin to develop faith and trust in this teaching is in itself remembering our own Buddha natures. And baby, can you dig it? Because I can dig it. Can you get with this? Can you get with this? Hayden, can you get with it? Honey, can you get with it? Right? Randa, can you get with it? Right? Can you get hip to this? I don't know why I think I'm in the 60s and the 70s all of a sudden, but here we go. Sometimes what's happening starts playing reruns in my head, and I'm like, oh, Dynamite. Okay, no, that's Good Times. But really, friends, can we do this? Right? Can we get hip to this? Like, can we start believing that we're not the chaos, that we're not all of this distraction? As systems collapse, right? It doesn't mean that we're collapsing, right? Right? As systems collapse, we should actually be getting freer, right? But this freedom takes work. This is labor to hold this. This isn't like this shit just doesn't happen. Right? Like it takes the work of awareness, presentness, plant. This is why the prayer is plant the watchman or the watch person of mindfulness. Plant this, stick it in the ground, and say, this is it. Right? Like have confidence when you plant this. Like I will remain aware. Right? I will stay present. I will continue to say yes to what's arising. Right? I will say yes. Yes, this is happening. Right? And this is how we have the capacity to meet the moment and to respond to the moment by first saying yes. There you are. Right? And we do this not just for our souls, we do this for all beings. We do this for our ancestors, we do this for our communities, we do this for our descendants. We do for our descendants what our ancestors did for us. And that is the sacred commitment, that is the sacred obligation that we have. What has been done for me, I will do for others. My ancestors survived and made it possible for there to be a Lama Rod. My ancestors didn't even know what Buddhism fucking was. Never even heard of Buddhism. Right? But still they said, whatever you choose to be, we want you to be that. And so can you take responsibility for that? Right? Can you take the responsibility for choosing to be your most authentic self? With all its complexities, with all of its contradictions, with its messiness, but also with its beauty. That's the totality of what we're becoming. We're not becoming perfect, we're becoming ourselves. Right? You're becoming yourself. And the world needs to see who you really are, not who you're performing, not who you're pretending to be. You're not trying to become what other people think you should become. You're not becoming what people, you're not becoming the person that will only get the validation that they need. You're becoming who you need to become. And you have to let the fucking world figure the rest out. Right? You need to become. Right? Don't wait for the world. Don't wait for you. Don't wait for your homegirl. Don't wait for your mama. Right? Don't wait for your partner. Become. Don't wait for people's permission. Just become. That's the sacred vow. And that is the sacred vow that I am demanding from all of you. If you're gonna fuck with me, you're gonna have to like become yourself, because I'm becoming. Become. That's what I need from all of us to become, allowing this practice, allowing Medicine Buddha, all the Buddhas, Chenrezig, Tara, all of them to allow you to become. Medicine Buddha, Tara, Chenrezig, they're just expressions of us, of our most awakened, like our most fierce self. Like they're just mirrors. You know? Right? So the elders in this space, may you never give up on becoming. May you never stop and say, I'm done. May you continue. May those of us who haven't began, may you start. Right? And may those of us in the middle of becoming keep going. Keep going. I am here because of the prayers of people like Colivia. I see you, Colivia. I'm here because the elders prayed me into this world. Right? In the same way, I am praying for my descendants to come into this world, to continue this work of getting people free and all beings free. So let's turn our attention to Shantideva's prayer, which you'll find in the chat box. And we recite this 3 times. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. And just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. And finally, may I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. And just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the ends of space.